What's up, legends? It's your boy Earl Shatter, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the best class setup for the Swordfish tactical rifle in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Before we get into the rest of the video, if you guys do enjoy this content, make sure you guys show your support for the channel by going down below and crushing that like button. We do have that goal of 50 likes on today's video. Also, if you guys are new and want to find your way back to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. About a week ago, we received update 1.13 that made a lot of changes across the board. But the changes that are particular to the Swordfish, we did see a slight buff. First and foremost, we're going to see an increase in that ADS move speed. It's going to allow you to remain aim down sight and move from one target to the next, or overall just aim in a specific area and move from side to side at a quicker rate. It's going to be very useful for something like the Swordfish. It's an actually very powerful weapon. So being able to increase anything or buffing this weapon in any way is overall just going to make it that much more dangerous. The second change that we saw to the Swordfish is going to impact the Quick Draw 2 attachment. It's going to improve the ADS in speed, which means basically if you're running Quick Draw 1 and Quick Draw 2, your overall ADS speed is going to be very fast, pretty much going to almost feel like it's instant. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys overall think that the Swordfish needed a buff, or if you guys thought it was fine just the way it is. Personally, I've always thought this weapon was really good, so I'm honestly surprised it got any buff whatsoever. But now that we've discussed what they've changed in our most recent update, let's go ahead and get right into the class setup. When it comes to the Swordfish, I think a lot of you guys are going to be thinking, if this is the best class setup, it's going to have to include the Pentaburst. However, I think you guys should make sure before you have any judgment on this class setup that I'm about to share with you guys, that you guys go out there and give it a shot for yourselves, because I think it is equally as dangerous as the Pentaburst. So for our best class setup using the Swordfish tactical rifle, we're going to first begin by talking about the reflex sight. Now the reflex sight is going to be extremely useful. If you guys aren't familiar with the Swordfish, it comes equipped with a ACOG-like default sight that I do not particularly appreciate. So I like to switch it out for this reflex. It makes me a little bit more accurate. I kind of like it's a little bit less intrusive. You're going to be able to see a little bit more on your screen. And overall, I just find that I'm a lot more accurate with it. So it's an easy change for me to throw that reflex on over that default ACOG-like sight. The next attachment that we're going to be discussing is going to be Quick Draw. Quick Draw is going to be extremely useful. I only run Quick Draw 1. It allows me to aim down sight just a tad bit faster. It's going to be super efficient for this weapon, as it is extremely powerful. It does shoot 4 rounds per burst, so the faster you're able to aim down sight, the more helpful you can find this weapon in close range encounters. Not ideal, and it's not super useful in close range encounters, as it is typically a mid to long range gun, but I find when you have Quick Draw on it, it helps save your butt just a bit. As you can see in some of the situations I find myself in this particular match, you will see Quick Draw coming in clutch in some of those close range gunfights, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. Our third attachment on our Swordfish best class setup is going to be that suppressor. Suppressor is super amazing, man. Can't emphasize enough how good this weapon is with it. It's obviously already really accurate. Shooting those 4 rounds per burst is super helpful. Shooting 2 bursts is obviously going to be 8 bullets. And even with the suppressor, I don't have a problem taking people out in at least 2 bursts. Sometimes you even get that 1 burst shot, depending on if the player is damaged or not. But the reality is, my favorite part of using the suppressor is staying under the radar, staying quiet, being able to come up on those flanks, and most importantly, keeping yourself, stealthy. And for our final attachment that we have equipped, we're going to be using the hybrid mags. For those of you that are unfamiliar, it's literally a balance between fast mags and the extended mag. Kind of meets in the middle, so you do get a slight faster reload. You also get a few more rounds per clip. It's super useful for something like the Swordfish. The fact that it shoots 4 rounds per burst is going to essentially mean you're probably going to go through your clip pretty quickly, especially if you're shooting at multiple targets. So having the ability to quick exchange that mag and also have those few extra bullets, it's going to be absolutely crucial, just depending on what gunfights you choose and where you find yourself. This attachment is actually extremely useful for those of you out there running the operator mod known as the Pentaburst, meaning there's 5 rounds per burst instead of 4. You're only going to be going through ammo quicker, so I truly feel that the hybrid mags is one of the better attachments for this weapon. Now that we've covered all of the attachments that I have equipped on my best class setup for the Swordfish, let's move on to the gear choice and also the perks that I'm running. When it comes to gear, there's really only 2 things that I run on my class setup. It's either the stim shot or the ComSec device. Stim shot's obviously going to allow you to heal a bit faster, so I usually use that for my submachine gun classes, or the classes I just plan on being close quarters. Also, with the ComSec device, you are able to get your streaks faster, so even sometimes, depending on the class setup I'm running, even for SMGs, I run the ComSec device because typically I play solo, and having my streaks or being able to get them earlier helps me regain map control and overall help my teammate push forward and try to get the dub. So with the Swordfish, because most of our gunfights are going to take place from mid to long range, We don't necessarily need the stim shot to get those quick heals in. We're going to hopefully have enough time before our enemy pushes us to get that off with a regular heal. And we're going to look forward to using the ComSec device like I mentioned, being able to get those streaks quite a bit faster. Obviously being able to dominate the lobby. I am playing solo in the match you guys are watching here. You guys can see just how much that ComSec device truly helps just dominate the map overall. The enemy team never really gets started. They just kind of get killed by streaks over and over and over. Next, we're going to go ahead and get to the perks. The first perk that we're looking at is going to be Scavenger. It's going to be extremely useful as it's going to allow you to replenish ammo from each and every enemy that you destroy. It's also super helpful because you're not guaranteed to get Crash, and you're also not guaranteed to get a teammate that's good with Crash. So it's good to have that backup, at least it is for me, to run Scavenger so I don't run out of ammo. Our next perk that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be Dexterity. I particularly enjoy Dexterity for having the faster mantle time and the longer slides. I have actually questioned switching this out for Gun Ho in the future, but we'll just have to see if I actually decide to make that decision. The other benefit to having Dexterity is you get increased weapon accuracy when jumping or mantling. I know when the game was first released, it was very questionable whether or not this perk actually worked. I'm not really sure if they tweak this in the future, but I feel like the other benefits kind of outweigh it, at least for me. You guys are more than welcome to switch this perk out. Maybe you want to use Gun Ho, maybe you want to use Lightweight or even Cold Blooded. I honestly don't feel like it's really relevant to making this class setup what it is. Our last perk is going to be the one and only Dead Silence. I like to run Dead Silence particularly on my long to mid-range gunfight class setups just because, you know, you're a little bit further away. If they do call in a UAV, you have some time to catch them before they get to you. However, if they are running the acoustic sensor, there's a good chance they could come up on the flank and you wouldn't really know they were coming, but they'd have an idea of where you are. So running that Dead Silence is going to counter that, going to force them to have to get pretty close to you before you actually are detected, making it pretty much, you know, an easy way for you to defend yourself. Even if they do have the UAV, they're going to see where you are anyway, but it's better if they have to push behind you and get close. That way it gives you the best opportunity to beat them. Now that we've covered the entire best class setup, from the weapon to all the attachments to the gear and the perks, you guys are now capable of throwing this together and running it for yourself. See if you guys enjoy this class setup. I think if you are one of those people who truly run the Pentaburst over just a normal class setup for this weapon, I highly suggest you guys go out there, give this a chance, and let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of running this class setup. Sadly, that's all the time we have for today. If you guys did enjoy this content at any time, I would appreciate you greatly if you went down below and supported the channel by crushing that like button. Like I said earlier, we do have that goal of 50 likes in today's video. Also, if you guys are new and want to find your way back to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for your support in today's video, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.